limit is y goes to 1 of y squared plus 2y minus 3 over y to the 4th plus 5y squared minus 6. First thing we're going to do is plug a 1 in for each of the y's. We will have a 1 squared plus 2 times a 1 minus a 3 in the numerator. And then 1 times 4 plus 5 times 1 squared minus 6 in the denominator. In the numerator, 1 squared is 1, 2 times 1 is a 2, minus a 3. In the denominator, 1 to the 4th is a 1, 1 squared is a 1 times a 5 is a 5, and then minus 6. In the numerator, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 minus 3 is a 0. In the denominator, 1 plus 5 is a 6, minus a 6 is a 0. We have the 0 over 0 indeterminate form. We will need to rework this by trying the factor and cancel method since these are power functions. So we will have limit as y goes to 1 of, in the numerator, this will be a trinomial factoring. Since it's y squared, I'll have a y and a y. I need two numbers that will multiply to be a negative 3 and add to be a positive 2. I believe we will want a plus 3 and a negative 1 to do that. In the denominator, I have a trinomial factoring of y to the 4th, and the middle term is y squared. Therefore, it's a trinomial factoring of y squared and y squared. Those will multiply to be y to the 4th. We need two numbers that multiply to be a negative 6 and add to be a positive 5. I believe I need a positive 6 and a negative 1. Now we do have 0 over 0 here, and we still have 0 over 0. We will continue to have that until we can cancel the factors that are making 0 in the numerator and denominator. Since y is going to 1, it will be a y minus 1 factor that is making a 0 in the numerator and denominator. I see it in the numerator, there's a y minus 1 up there. In the denominator, I don't quite have the y minus 1, I have y squared minus 1. That does actually further factor. And that's our next step, is to further factor that y squared minus 1 in the denominator. Now in the denominator, the y squared plus 6, that's a summation with a y squared. That will not further factor. But a difference of squares does further factor. Y squared minus 1 will factor into y plus 1 and y minus 1. At this point, the y minus 1 factors can cancel. That is what was making 0 over 0 in the first place. And we can rewrite what we have left after the cancellation. And we can now retry the 1. We should no longer have 0 over 0 since we've removed the factors that were making that happen. In the numerator, we'll have 1 plus 3. In the denominator, we will have 1 squared plus 6 times 1 plus 1. In the numerator, 1 plus 3 is a 4. In the denominator, 1 squared is a 1 plus a 6 is a 7. 1 plus 1 is a 2. And we'll end up with 4 over 14, which reduces to 2 over 7.